Hey friends, it's Miriam from Rustic Waters Homestead, and I am doing another video on eggs because I've got some requests and some questions that always come in when we talk about eggs on the farm. Um, and these eggs are here from our farm, and they are a pretty brown, right? And you guys can see that they are a pretty brown egg. We on the farm, it just so happens that these are the last three that I have left in the refrigerator because we've been incubating all of our eggs, and I've shown you guys videos. I did a video about incubation a while back ago. I don't know, maybe like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks, and I had like all the different colors, and I had people ask me if there's a difference between the eggs um, nutritionally, like when you eat them, if there's a difference between white eggs and green eggs and brown eggs. And believe it or not, that's a question that we get asked often. When Bernie and I, when we lived in Florida, we were poultry leaders. So we did a lot of educational seminars and a lot of stuff with our 4-H kids. And I can't tell you how many times we were at a fair and somebody would come up and just like tell us that there was a difference between white eggs and brown eggs and green eggs. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that eggs from the store, right? Because there is a difference, but I want to teach you guys what that difference is. And I think people get this confused. So, eggs at the store, predominantly what you see at the store are the white eggs, the white-shelled eggs, okay? Now, when we compare the eggs at the stores, the white eggs, the brown eggs, nutritionally, there's no difference. Okay. I've said before in a lot of our videos that the commercial industry is all about the bottom line, right? Can they make income? Can they make money? So when we're looking at eggs in the commercial industry, you're going to find that the white eggs are the number one dominant egg out there, and it is basic mathematics. The reason that that white egg is the dominant egg out there is because that egg is laid by a breed that's called a leghorn. Now, leghorns are birds that are white. They're white birds. They come in other varieties, but the commercial bird is a white bird, and this bird is bred. Okay, the breeding of this bird is solely on the focus of laying eggs. And this particular breed lays white eggs. All right. So this commercial breed has been bred so that the body of the bird is actually smaller, and the cavity of the bird, or where the egg is contained, is the biggest part of the bird. So it takes 4 ounces of feed to feed this bird, and for that bird to produce an egg every 26 to 28 hours, basically an egg a day. All right, that's the breakdown. 4 ounces of feed. I think it's like 4 ounces of water too, but I can't remember. I know, huh? 8 ounces. Okay, 4 ounces of feed. Farmer Bernie's behind me. He's saying 8 ounces of water a day. So 4 ounces of feed, 8 ounces of water given to that bird daily. It's going to produce an egg. That particular breed produces a white egg. It's all about numbers. Your chickens that lay colored eggs, now whether it's a brown egg, a green egg, an olive egg, a chocolate egg, there's, numerous varieties. There's a whole bunch of different colors. Eggs come in a variety of colors, just like people come in a variety of colors. Okay, it's the same thing. So eggs come in a variety of color, and here's the difference. This egg takes 6 ounces of feed because when this egg is going through the oviduct in the system for the bird, it takes an extra step. And that one of that extra step is to add pigmentation to the egg. It's a step that's added when that egg is traveling down the oviduct system. Like, here's your science for the day, okay? So this will take 6 ounces of feed. Does it still take 8 ounces of water?
Yeah, water's the same.
Water's the same, so it takes 6 ounces of feed.
The color takes more.
So when I tell you it is literally a bottom line numbers thing of how much I put in and what I'm putting out, that's it. This takes 6 ounces. So commercially, if we're looking at it in the commercial industry, it makes more sense to feed a bird that's only going to take 4 ounces of feed than a bird that's going to take 6 ounces of feed. Okay? So that's the first dynamic that we're looking at. Now, the next thing that we're going to look at is the inside of the egg. is there a nutritional difference inside of the egg? And here's the deciding factor on this, okay? The deciding factor on this is, are you obtaining your eggs from free range or pasture raised chickens? Egg layers. All right. Free range pasture raised egg layers. What does that mean? That means that these birds are on the ground, they're on pasture, and they are doing what birds need to do. They're consuming what birds need to consume. You know, these birds are omnivores. They need to have both meat and they need to have vegetation. So these layers are birds that are on the ground eating their food, on pasture. Will they get grain? Yeah, they get grain, but grain is not their primary food source. I can tell you right now that when our pastures are during season now, when they're lush and there's all sorts of vegetation out there and there's bugs and ticks and fleas and worms and spiders and everything that they eat, we don't really need to feed our egg layers. You know, we might toss some food out there for them every once in a while, but they're not grain. Their primary source is not grain. Their primary source is pasture. So what does that do to the egg inside? That's when we see a difference. Nutritionally, eggs that come from pasture raised chickens are going to be higher in um, uh, vitamin D because they're out in the sun. They're going to be higher in omega 3s. They're going to convert from omega 6 to omega 3. They're going to be higher in vitamins. They're going to be nutrient dense. And you're going to see that. You're going to see that when you see the egg yolks. Okay. Your egg yolks are going to be deeper and richer in color. But this is one of the reasons why I stress so much for you guys to understand and know where your food is coming from and to understand and know who your farmer is. Okay. Build up that relationship with your local farmer, because when you're at the big box store, and I don't care which big box store it is, insert any name you want from any area in the country, they're not necessarily purchasing their eggs from the local farmer. They don't know how those they don't know how those eggs are being raised. There's a lot of keywords you will see on packaging, but you really have to understand what those keywords mean. So the best thing for you to do is build a relationship with your local farmer. Go to the farmer's market. Build a relationship with the local farm stores, local farm stands. There's so much out there that's available. We have our products at the West Plains Farmers and Artisan Store. You can also pick up our products here on the farm. But when you build a relationship with your local farmer, then you know exactly what is being put, what that animal is eating, how that animal is being raised. And when we tell you that our animals are being pasture raised and they're out free ranging, then you have an understanding and you know that what you're going to crack open in there is something that was raised for you to consume. Now, the reason that I say that too is because a lot of people they'll go to the store and they'll rely on what the yolk looks like. Well, as of late, there's been some articles, and I've seen several articles and videos where the farmers are changing what the chickens are eating, and when they change what the chickens are eating, grain wise, it changes the color of the yolk. So you can't always go by that. Just like you can't go just by the outside color of the shell and say, "Oh, brown eggs, so that means that it's a pasture raised chicken." No, that's not what it means. There's different breeds that lay different color eggs, right? You can get pasture raised eggs from chickens that lay white eggs, and they're just as nutritionally dense. The key takeaway here is how the chickens are being raised and what they are consuming. So that's my tip for this week. Make sure that you are buying, if you are wanting nutrient dense food, if you are wanting eggs that are high in vitamin D, that are omega 3, that have nutritional value that you need for your morning breakfast, is a number one great source of protein. Buy local and buy pasture raised chickens or pasture raised eggs. All right, guys, have a great one.